Since we got Lisbel here, Lisbel, man, let's talk about, you and your journey and everything that, that's been going on for you guys. First of all, I know Lisbel from a really fucking long time.
I was actually about to ask that. How do y'all know each other?
Teenage years, it was mainly through one of my boys. They lived on Shepherd, and we used to throw parties in a basement there in Shepherd. I think Andy and me went to the same church.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like always random sightings. Their family was somehow always tied to my family. Somewhere in a supermarket together, they were chilling. You would walk in and fucking see them talking and shit like that. Like, it's such an awkward the way me and them know each other, but we never got to spend a lot of childhood memories together. Yeah. Just some pinpointed memories that, that we can recall that were, I guess, in important phases of our lives. Like when we were in the hood, shit that happened there, everybody, if you're from East New York, y'all share that same fucking trauma.
Yeah.
And that's coming from friends and shit like that. But anyway, that's how I know Lisbel. And I'm proud of where you are right now. I love how fucking outspoken you are right now. I'm your biggest fan when it comes to, how you talk about the fucking relationship between parents and their kids, relationship between friends
I'll fight
and
you for that
sis and shit like that. Like, to me, it's so big. But, Lisbel, dale, introduce yourself. Anything you want to say out there.
First of all,
You in a hot
you.
seat,
I
you know
love
what I'm
you,
saying?
Flo. For real.
Love you too, my nigga.
So Flo for a while. He's always been that loud and rude and shit like that.
He's actually always been the best person that I know.
Aww.
Ese hombre de Dios.
You don't have to lie.
Yo, we speak the truth right here.
He paid me for
Oh,
telling
okay,
you that.
now.
Nah, Flo's always been Flo. He's always been amazing and humble. So I love him deeply, even if I got my back turned to you right now.
I know, I wish I love you.
But my name is Lisbel Ortiz Diablo. Se me olvidó el nombre. My name is Lisbel Ortiz. I'm an author, a writer. I'm a filmer. Lo que sea. Honestly,
Creative, honey.
Yeah.
I love that.
I would say I'm sorry to cut you off. I would say the way I know you is through TikTok, and I think I've had this conversation with everybody here. I say you're a great storyteller.
Oh, thank you.
Facts.
That's a great compliment.
I can actually like sit there. There's videos that could be like 2 minutes long, and you probably hear the first few seconds
And you're like,
swipe up.
swipe up.
I'm like
No,
that too.
I actually get invested in the way you tell a story, and to me, I think that's a great talent. I have a great
I
talent.
appreciate that for real. Thank you.
Captivating voice, honestly.
Yeah.
What got you into, Instagram was out. A lot of people were
Right.
using it for mainly showing off their life. Pretty much, that's what you can say Instagram is.
So
is
basically
people,
that environment.
you're either a creative on Instagram, you're a follower on Instagram,
Or a promoter.
or you're somebody that like just enjoys the app and looks for influence and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's part of the creator process. But in the beginning, it wasn't really like that. A lot of people were transferring over from Vine. It was getting really weird on Instagram for a bit. When they introduced videos, that's pretty much what changed a lot of people's lives.
That is.
So I want to know, Lisbel, like how, because you mentioned before, and it's a memory that we share where, I did try to get you to fucking do a fucking stand-up because you were always good with your fucking words. So spoken poetry, spoken word poetry and shit like that, I wanted her to do because she's so good at fucking explaining life situations and childhood trauma and shit like that. Things that people are scared to talk about or that don't know how to word it, and I respect her for that. But how did you get into it? Like, like one day you just turn your phone on and was like, fuck it, let me selfie video, Dominicans, y'all niggas fucking pussy as shit sometimes. Like how did that go?
Nah, honestly, I've never thought about being an influencer or somebody who creates videos or does like content online. My thing is I have a message and I'm trying to get that message across no matter what fucking avenue it is. So for me, it was writing. Now I'm going into filming and documentary, and I have a story to tell. And like with my brother's platform, I said, I'm gaining all of these followers just for filming him. Let me release the message, same way. And the reason I started making videos is because I was writing my first book, and I said, okay, I'm writing a book, but I need to have an audience for this book. So I started doing little videos on the topics that I was writing about, and I kind of gained my audience like that as I was writing.
Which one was your first viral video, actually, that you would say?
That's a good question.
Ironically, it's the one I made about Alpha Male Podcast.
That was you switched characters, right? The one that she switched characters.
And by the way, this is the first male podcast I've been to. Like I've only been to like women podcasts, or it'd be like one dude, but never a bunch of them.
Yeah, so it's
But
just
those were my.
We're the first.
They Damn, nice to know you see us as a bunch of niggas and Gotti.
But you know Gotti, she love her boys.
Gotti feels
do.
Gotti got a big spot, man.
I
She's,
do.
Come on, man.
These are my boys.
Big part.
But that's really where it started. I have a message and I'm trying to find different avenues to relay that. I don't care what it is, like Instagram for me is just another outlet. It's just a place to find more people.
So what? My question, I think, would be like, when did you know? Like, when did you kind of know that you had like these thoughts and these messages to relay that you actually like actually came about and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna start just putting out this content.
So you talking about the content or like
just
when
like
I
in
started
general,
writing?
like anything that you speak on, like when did you actually like
when did you decide to
make
be
the decision
outspoken
to just
about?
be more? Yeah.
Oh,
That your
honestly,
message
I've been
was-
outspoken since I popped out of mom's big ass pussy. I've been like that my entire life.
Whoa.
Pobre mamá.
Damn.
I guess I mean like on social media is where I would guess was the
Yeah. Honestly, I remember when we were in WV, I was in network marketing, and there was this guy saying some shit, and I just remember it pissed me off so bad. And I was like, in my head, I was writing a response to what he would say, but I didn't know him, so I wasn't gonna tell him.
Isn't it weird how that comes full circle? How she just said that, and we started this podcast because we got pissed off about
Another podcast.
another
You see, anger is not that bad.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not
You
that
gotta
bad.
channel
Like
it.
anger
Absolutely.
Has,
gotta
there's
find-
good things to
You
anger.
got annoyed.
You gotta find the right channel for it.
Yeah. That's
Exactly. But that's where it started, and I was like, let me write because that was so stupid what you said. It was something very sexist. So I started writing like what I would say to him if I knew him. And my friends had gotten back from lunch, and I was like, here, read this. And they was like, yo, why don't you write a book? And when they said that, it was like fucking galaxies just exploded because it was like God leading me to my destiny. It's like little droplets. My third grade teacher told my mom, yo, she's gonna be a writer. I'm like, yeah, when she grows up, she's gonna be a writer.
how hard it is.
Now,
I didn't know that I was gonna be a fucking writer until I turned 19. Like till I turned 20, 21 around that age.
and
That's a good
speaking
time.
about your writing, I know that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I know that in 2020, I believe you lost your grandfather. And you were faced with having to make a big decision, which was whether to go to DR because that was his wishes as his final resting place, or stay here and stay at a fairly new job. And you said, fuck it. I'm choosing family over anything.
FOE, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, that definitely
So
happened.
she ends up losing her job, but with that came a beautiful blessing, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's a
you-
blessing in disguise.
It's
Tell us about
crazy that I was jobless for a long ass time, and I was writing the book throughout that time. Finally got a good job. It was convenient, close. It was dope. And my grandfather fell ill. He passed away, and they were making the arrangements to see what they were gonna do to fly him out to DR. And me and my sister were both working at this job, and we couldn't both leave. And I remember sending the email, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I have to go. Like, this is my grandfather. This is not a distant grandfather. I'm talking about
Right.
This
This is
nigga was in
Papa.
my
This is
house
Papa.
every day my entire life.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like one of those people that I didn't know. It was like, this dude has been a part of my entire life. I have to see it through. And not only do I have to see it through, but I have to be there for my family because my mom was fucking going through it. So was my grandmother. So I was like, I have to be there. And I was in this position where it's like, fuck, I love this job. I don't want to leave it. But how do I let my family be by themselves during this time, knowing that they don't have the emotional capacity to deal with what's going on?
Yep.
And I remember sending the email, and I had like these fucking anxiety jitters. I was like, yo, it was the first time I've ever been up with a decision that I had to truly make because my family was telling me to stay. Right. Everybody was saying, no, you have to stay.
that fear of like, oh my God, you're going to lose your job.
Exactly. Like, imagine a Dominican, you going into a Dominican house and you saying like, look, I'm going to DR to bury Papa.
Yep.
No. Even my grandmother at one point was like, listen, your grandfather would have wanted you to stay to keep the job. And I was like, but my fucking body, my spirit, my soul is literally telling me to leave, to go with you. And I remember going through that thing and I sent out the email and I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pray on it. I'm going to pray, see how I feel in the morning, if I stay or if I leave. And before I prayed, I knew the answer. That's how I knew that, I didn't care what my father was saying. My grandmother, love you to death, an angel, but fuck what you talking about. I'm going to
I'm
the
going
yard
out
to
Talking about
bury
grandma.
my
Ya
grandpa.
ese sentimiento tú lo sentías and you're just like, yo, I
Exactly.
gotta do
You
it.
gotta go to gut.
It's like God was telling me, vete. Like, you know, but logically, I'm like, how the fuck you gonna go? You're gonna lose your job. But
As
I
an
flew-
adult, that shit hits
Exactly.
different thinking about that decision.
Now I had submitted my book by then already. And ironically, the day we found out that he had stage 4 was the day I submitted it. Same day, August 10th, never forget.
What year was this?
2020.
2020. Okay.
2020. But I remember I flew to DR. I didn't want to come back to New York. I was supposed to be there for 3 days. I ended up staying for 2 months.
Hey, yeah.
Damn.
I didn't have shit to come back to. I was out
on that one.
I said, I'm staying my ass in DR. And I stood mostly because I didn't want to come back to the reality of like, yo, your grandfather is not here.
Yeah.
And also because I didn't have anything to come back to. But by the time that I came back, I'm skipping the best part. The time that I was in DR was so healing.
I felt
Like,
it
it
through your
was-
posts. I felt them.
Like it was something I've never felt before in my entire life. It was like I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to be there because the writing and the things that I came up with while I was over there, just being back home, it was out of this world. And it was like, yo, you made the right decision.
Let me-
That's why
God,
it's important for you to go somewhere that's outside of your normal environment.
I would
Yup.
say that responsibilities, you know, as you're an adult, you have to respond to responsibilities, but they can be the reason why you don't get your peace of mind sometimes. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And people don't know they need their peace of mind until they fucking get it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, holy shit, like, I needed this. I needed a break. Some
Definitely
people
hear
need
you
a
on that.
fucking break sometimes, you know?
that's really
And I
what
guess
it
for you,
was.
that was your break and your inspiration all at the same time, you know? Like, everything followed after that. What'd you do when you got back to New York?
The book was published. If you can believe that by the time
My girl
by
bought
the
that shit
time
right
I got
away.
back to New York, the publishers had finished, doing everything, and I launched it maybe 2 weeks. 2 weeks after I got back from DR, and I'll never forget my goal was like, oh, if I can sell 300 copies this weekend, if I could just do 300, I make my money back. So that's what my goal is, 300, just a little bit over profit. I think we sold like 500 that weekend.
Nice.
Now I'm
man.
bugging. I think it was more because I remember being absolutely blown
Yeah,
the fuck
don't be
away.
humble.
be humble.
Tell them how much you sold.
you know the numbers,
I
much
don't
you
have to
sold?
look it up, but
Oh,
I
okay,
remember it was.
The porch that's outside is hers.
It makes sense now. It makes
Oh,
sense.
damn, who got a raise out here?
It was like double what I expected, and it was within such a short period of time. And I was like, like I always say, I didn't always say this, but I think that when somebody passes, they push the prayers through. So what I was praying for, Papa was like, he got up there and he was like, yo, I got somebody down there who been calling and you fucking wildin'.
Right.
And I need you to speed up the process. That's how it felt. It felt like it was a gift from my grandfather. Because I was so scared to make that decision, it's like the world rewards you for stepping out on faith.
Take that leap,
and-
man. Take that
And
leap.
I'm going to quote you on what I'm going to say.
Okay.
It's very important to live for love, not survival.
Yes.
Live for
when
love
you,
and not
when you
survival.
said that resonated with me because anybody that knows me and my first advice to anybody, haga lo que usted le dé su gana, que nos vamos a morir. Haga lo que usted le dé su gana, que nosotros nos vamos a morir. That's how I live my life. I live my life solely on love, not survival.
Beautiful.
Those are important
I like that
traits.
too.
Important
Absolutely.
traits.
What's the name of your book?
Let's talk about it. Por la buena la mala.
Por la buena, por
Wait,
la
so
mala.
where can we find it?
Amazon, Barnes and
everywhere.
Noble, Target.
I know what I'm doing this whole month that I'm gonna be in DR.
There it is.
I know what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
I'm
That's
super fucking proud of you, Lisbon.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm about to come out with a coloring book at that. See, I don't know, maybe. I get
You
lucky.
could. I'm telling you, de verdad, we have there are not a lot of Hispanic Latino writers
not.
or just in general. So it's like whatever you do, you showing a lot of love to our community. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you got an idea for a child story, you could do that. It's not it's not too hard to write a story and then find an illustrator.
Yeah.
And guess what? You really do change generations like that. Because I remember meeting my first author. I was in 3rd grade. She was Puerto Rican. And when she walked through the door, I expected her to be white. I don't
Because
like.
she was on a
Obviously, I
book?
know why.
Honestly,
because in our minds, you know?
honestly, you
You
say
would think
author,
that-
and
She
I
was.
just
Yeah,
Right,
you
exactly.
think
Like
author.
you think about
Absolutely.
these high positions and you have a certain image in your head that they've put in us. So I remember she walked through the door, long, beautiful black curls with I'll never forget. She had these red big ass glasses, and then she said she was Puerto Rican, and I was like, they could do that.
Right.
crazy, right?
Crazy.
What?
In the
Think
what? In
about
the
it.
third, second grade?
Third grade. I was in third
You're
grade.
you're in school. Like if you went to school, I guess in a minority neighborhood, the people that you're gonna see quote unquote that are important to the school, a lot of the times are fucking blanquitos.
Of course.
Like it's the fucking I didn't really meet, let's say, my principals were a mix of minority and blanquitos, but anybody that was a minority with us would act like everybody else. So just to fill in their position, you wouldn't give kids a chance just because of you're judging them, like from their outside, like you don't know what kind of trauma that kid is going through. Why don't you pull them aside? Like get your counselor to pull the fucking kid aside. See, yo, you all right? You good? A lot of people just want to reprimand you. No, que así no se hace, que así no la vaina. Oh, talk to you. And with that point, the recent video that you put up on your Instagram channel, to me it resonated a lot, and I fucking love that video. If you want to summarize it, go ahead. It's pretty much the thing with the parents' trauma, pretty much.
Also the one there's a video I posted 2 days ago where this Mexican lady was like, whenever my kids used to cry, I would just pull out the belt and I would just,
I see that.
and I would tell them, if you need a reason to cry, I'll give you one. So I made a video basically talking about that and how our parents either were the ones who were abusive or just emotionally neglectful, and how it operates in our lives as adults.
Right.
So, ironically, that video went viral on TikTok, and a lot of the kids adults now who were beaten on are now like, oh, well, I turned out just fine. That's like the excuse, and I made another video
That
talking about
statement
Stockholm
right there
syndrome.
says trauma.
Exactly. So I made another video talking about Stockholm syndrome, which is something that you develop when you are abused, and it's like this defensive relationship. You ever seen a woman be beat by her husband and then defend him?
Yeah.
It's like that emotional attachment where it's just like, leave them alone. They're okay. Like they just do this because they love me. So that happens a lot in our Hispanic communities. Demasiado. And it's so normal for you to beat the shit out of your children.
Right.
Or just to emotionally be like, váyase that, like just, cater
Like you're
to
not allowed to
none.
have feelings
Es
almost.
que eso es,
Because I'm your mother. It's my
like,
favorite.
Eso es normal. Ahora mismo, vamos a decir, estamos en el tiempo de Navidad y toda la vaina. Everybody has the get-togethers. Y los chamaquitos corriendo y jodiendo. Y fulano, dale un cocotazo para que no ve. Like, it's just so, it's like,
Interrupting all the
But there's
time.
a very thin line between, like raising your kid to not be a fucking pussy, and showing them that life is gonna fuck them, like eventually, and you gotta be ready for that. You can't, you trying to raise somebody that's gonna be solid. It's a very thin line between raising somebody like that and fucking traumatizing your kid for the rest of his life.
There is.
You gotta know what they're going through, you know what I'm saying? Like, in order to understand them. There was a part in your video where you mentioned, I guess, being able to talk to your parents and like reconnect with them now as an adult. And talk to them about past traumas and shit
That
like
was
that.
literally what my question was. gonna
Those
be.
motherfucking conversations would change your perspective with your parents at any point in time. Like, you need to be able to have these solid conversations with, like, let's say if my pops was alive right now, I would be having conversations with him man to man, not me being your fucking son. Now we talking man to man, and what type of kid you raised and what I became on my own and what you taught me and what I took from what you guys showed me. Those conversations are important.
I think like the generation, like people that was born in the 80s and the 90s, our parents, that generation, our parents, they grew up como, like, there's a saying que son campesinos. Like
They did the best they could, honestly, with what they were
depends.
that was
handed.
normal for them. For them,
Yeah.
that was normal. Like, si tú, like, I remember, I have an aunt, that ella, you would do anything, y ella te corta los ojos, and you were like,
Scared.
that's
Like,
my pops. But my pops was more like, he wasn't abusive. It was just more like a respect type of thing.
right.
Pero todos los primos míos con el papá mío era nada más like, si corrían en la casa, he'd be like this, or side eye, they're like this.
Running was over.
You know what I'm saying? But I get what you mean, though.
You grow up thinking that that's how you assert authority. And
Yeah.
that's the wrong way to fucking do it, because if nobody liked it when they was a kid, your parents used to turn around, you used to be like, fuck you.
Well, maybe
nigga.
the difference
you
here-
Imagine people you do it to now.
Maybe the difference here with with your aunt was she was like abusive.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't abused.
She
It was
meant
just
she was
like,
respected, most likely.
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
speaking
un
about
trompón.
childhood, how has the dynamic changed from how you were raised to now that you're an adult that has learned so much and has self-developed? Like, how is the dynamic different from when you were a kid to now that you're an adult with your parents?
It's changed drastically. I feel like they've healed along me, like alongside with me, because as I read, I don't keep shit from my parents. Like, a lot of people say stuff like, "Oh, like how do I send this video to my parents?" It's like, bro, send it.
That's it.
You got to start the conversation somewhere.
Yeah.
So I've been like this my entire life, and I've always been honest with my parents. And now, when I acquired the knowledge of of the things that I needed to know, I would tell my mom like, "This isn't okay. This isn't okay." And I'll get the same backlash that most people do. It's just like, "What do you mean? Oh, so you calling me a bad mom?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Girl, we're
They
going
get
through it right
defensive
now.
always.
The victim mentality, the gaslighting, the manipulation. Like
crazy.
I've been on the receiving end of that, but I've always been like, that's not happening. And I teach my mom like, it's crazy that you literally have to teach your parents.
I
because
say
they
it all the
didn't
time.
know.
Our parents become our children.
Exactly.
Like that's the stage that my siblings and I are in right now. We're having hard conversations with them that they don't want to even touch. So they feel offensive, like, oh, entonces, pero fui yo la que me jodí con usted.
Exactly.
Que no se like, oh my goodness, it's really hard.
No, porque lo que ustedes quieren es que yo me muera. Porque yo me muera.
No.
Aquí
The famous
ustedes no
one.
Defense mechanism.
Now the famous one is, tú verás cuando yo me muera, ustedes van a sufrir.
Cuando tú tengas tus hijos, tú te vas a acordar de mí.
That's not my favorite.
Fucking
Oh, yeah.
bachata song, nigga. That's what they used to hit us with all the fucking
that
time. Yo me muera.
Another thing that I seen that you do that's interesting is you actually break down these bachata songs.
Oh,
Of these
yeah? Hold on.
artists.
I might miss that. Wait, what?
There was one actually from Joscar Sarante, I think it was.
Rest in peace.
Rest
Yes.
in peace, the
Oh,
fucking,
so-
fucking
Yes.
God.
So Da Vinci Bo is fucking.
Not even that.
He's piggybacking
the
over
crazy
your
thing
shit.
is that the way you break it down and then you start thinking like, oh shit, they are talking. I think there was one from Luis Miguel de la Margue.
Luis Miguel.
Es que
I
todas
think
esas
she was
canciones
talking.
hablan de un
They were talking
potential love for a
about
minor.
somebody that she was 15 years old.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
sister.
I definitely did. I remember.
What
Yes.
fucking song is
the
this?
other one, the one that nigga, the one that became popping like last year, que
Sí.
se escuchaba en todos lados.
What, the one? It's an old school?
La de
Yeah,
it's an old
Sí, es de Oscar,
That
¿no?
one.
Es de Oscar, ¿no?
No, de Luis Miguel de la
Luis
Margue.
Miguel de la Margue. It just got popular not too long ago.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh.
That's crazy because back in the days, it was como a
Normal.
double standard. Like that's the way they used to create songs. And looking back now, it's like, yo,
That shit is crazy. It was okay.
it's. But how can I put this? Your mom, I see that you're very close to your mom. Right? You're closer to your mom than your dad.
I love how involved your mom is. man.
Yeah, I would say I'm closer with my mom than
Crazy thing about it is that mostly, and I would say probably like 80% of the Dominican parents would view like some of the things that you guys do, like, coño muchacho, tú sí jode, like get a job, or tú lo que estás haciendo video y esto, like, has your mom ever been that person?
never.
That's amazing.
Never. My mom.
Amazing mom, man.
My mom might not be like she was not emotionally intelligent growing up. That's what it was. She didn't know how to handle emotions.
Yeah.
She was never abusive or like disrespectful. She just
Really? Because yo veo todos los cocotazos que ella le
You
da a
know
la
what's
hermana.
funny? She's talented. She's a talent.
no. My mom is an amazing actress, but my mom.
Oh, trust
She
me.
cracks me up. She cracks me
That's
up.
the novelas, nigga. Wait till they watch all these
She wanted
novelas
to come,
for.
and I was like,
Oh,
no. She would have been right over there with y'all drinking too.
She's amazing.
Un traguito para
Oh,
ti.
Pa' la reina, pa' la
Traguito para
reina.
ella, dos.
Ah, damn. No hookah, right? No hookah.
Nah, hell
Yo,
no.
what's your mom's name, by the way?
Reina.
Reina.
Her real name is Isabel.
That's another crazy thing. Us Dominicans, we put these crazy names. I have an aunt.
Los apodos, como le
Esa
dicen.
comida
I
mala.
have an aunt who
Oh shit.
That can't be her reputation.
And-
That's gonna be the mala.
I mean, he said it on the show.
He's on the show.
wait.
He's on the show.
The crazy thing is, it's crazy because I have her on, and I'm gonna put on blast. Her name is Olfina. And the crazy thing, how do you get?
Ay, la suegra. Ay, la suegra.
Put this in behind.
That's your swag. That's your swag. Oh shit!
What's the name again? What's the name?
Defienda la flor.
Yo,
Si no más bueno que el diablo.
The crazy thing
Defienda la flor,
is,
defienda
growing
la-
up, we called her Olfina, right? But throughout the years, I learned that her real name is Cristobalina.
Hey, diablo.
How you get Olfina from
Yo,
Cristobalina?
not for nothing. When I came into the family, I was like, so which one is it?
Yeah, I'm in the same situation.
Listen, all of my father's siblings tienen un apodo that's a legit
Yep.
name that's not their name. And I
Mine's
learned that
Yes.
as an adult
too.
as well. Like my dad. My dad, mi mamá, hasta mi mamá le dice Bolívar. Él no se llama Bolívar, se llama Francisco.
Way off, like way off.
Francisco.
Not even close.
That's not even his middle name. Like,
Not even the middle name.
And that's-
Francisco Antonio se llama.
And
él le
that's
dicen
like
Bolívar.
that's like all.
that's what the father wanted him to be named.
It's
That's
from
what
my dad's
happened,
side. Or like all his sisters, crazy names.
Got crazy names?
We got Chia.
What?
Her name is her real name is Anna.
nigga. But they call her Tia.
They call her
Chia.
Chia. We got somebody else.
So
that
is
her-
Reina an
that-
apodo?
No?
Yeah.
Es un apodo.
They just call her Reina. They've always
And her
called
name
her
is
Reina.
She's the queen. She's
Y
the
ella se
queen.
me sabe.
Right?
Right?
And then your brother's name so is Radel, but Andy's his real.
I've called him Andy my whole entire
What's
life.
His first
Yo le
name is
digo
Andy.
Andy
His
también.
middle
Rodel
name
is-
is Rodel.
Oh, okay, that's what I figured.
His
My
middle
mom's
name is
his middle
Rodel?
name is Rodel.
Ah. Yo le digo Andy.
Pero mommy is Isabel. I'm Liz Bell, and then my older sister is Iris Bell.
Amiga
Iris.
mía.
I always
It is
knew
my
Iris and
dad.
Yeah. And ironically, Andy's girlfriend's name is Sally Bell.
Oh my God,
He's
yes.
surrounded
¿Y
by
cuánto
Bell.
I
Bell?
didn't even connect that. That's crazy. Bell,
Let's
Bell
go.
y Bell.
Lisbeth, I
Todas
will.
las campanas.
and I got the most common name, Anthony.
Anthony, of course.
Hey, súbito.
I mean, aren't you glad that your name is Anthony?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty.
massive.
And
What
not
about
Chi
Porfirio?
Anthony.
You could have
Why
been
don't you
stuck with
change it?
like with a Bartolo or some shit.
Nah,
Yeah,
that's
Yo,
Porfirio.
imagine niggas called you
Colgate.
Bartolo.
Listen, feel proud. My mom's name is Julia. My dad's name is Julian. My brother's name is Julian Jr. My sister's Juliet.
Good
And
night.
I'm Oscar.
Hey,
That's so
Diablo.
sad.
What
Thank
the
God.
Somebody know
Lord
me. Those are
Jesus.
names.
Just name you
In my
Oscar.
family, they're
I
all
was the
F's
firstborn.
except
I
for
don't
me.
know. They get Oscar,
Oscar Morobel.
Like the thing.
Mine are all F's and I'm the only C. All of them.
That's
Damn.
right. That's right.
I'm the kid from the let's mix our names.
Yep.
Jose Mari, yo man.
Hey, diablo.
My middle name
It's
is.
a cool name.
Está pasable.
I
love it. I love
I like it too.
I
think Jomar's dope.
gotta. First, I do want to say that, Lisbeth, I love you and your family. You guys reflect the same type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never a negative vibe around any of your siblings, your mother. Anytime I've been around y'all, it's been always like love, you know, and including my nigga Elvis. It's
Of
my
course.
Guy. Ese de lo
That's
mío,
my
personal.
brother.
He used to be in Futuro. I was a bass player for Futuro.
Ese
That's how I met him, yeah. But, you know, so... Hey, yo, he's a ghost on social media, but he's
Yeah.
doing, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of everything he's doing. You know, he's doing great too.
Was
Great
Kevin part of
decisions.
that, man?
Nah. This is right before. So I do want to say that I love you guys and that energy that you reflect. Now, would you say that you are very different compared to your siblings, like compared to your sister, your brothers, and let's say your mom? Like, what attributes can you say you guys share and that you don't share?
We have the same sense of humor.
That's
Okay.
That's big.
We have the 100%. We have
I
the same sense
understand
of
that
humor.
completely. That's why I love you guys.
Like it's
it
always
reminds
on
me of
100,
me
like-
and mine.
Yeah, it don't. Yo, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter where you put us. We
There's
gonna
no
be
switch.
cracking the fuck up. And guess what? My mom is worse than all of us. Like, you put her in the crowd, and she's the most immature one out of all of us.
Yeah, me too. I can see it.
But yeah, I would say that's probably the most thing we have in common. But we don't have too many differences. But we are different in our own. We all have. Like Andy is, no matter what room he steps into, he's fucking hilarious. Like, he's
He can't
a
help
social
it.
butterfly. He can make anybody laugh. If you're having a bad day, he will be able to fix that no matter what. My sister walks into a room and you're gonna know before she makes it through the doors. You're gonna hear her when she's parking.
That's
'Cause
crazy
she has
though,
the
'cause
laugh of
your
Her laugh-
sister,
her laugh
Is
is
legendary.
but
Legendary.
your sister's like, we rarely see her in any other videos.
Yeah, she's
They
like
keep
an
her away.
inmate. Yeah.
So she's the loud one, but
She's the grown up.
She's on lockdown?
outside,
She's
like,
security, son. She's security.
The thing is with Iris Bell is
She's the
very
producer.
protective.
She's a protector,
No,
yeah.
she's very protective.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
she's super protective of me, my brother, and she's just not into
She's
like
the
the social.
Francesca.
She's the oldest, right?
She's the
Yeah, she is the
Francesca.
oldest, so
Yeah,
that's
I-
another
Yes.
thing.
I respect
but
that.
ella de verdad, she doesn't like being. She's a part of everything that we do when it comes to like filming, joking wise, like everything, she's there, but she doesn't like being in front of the camera. Okay. She's
No,
not that
honestly,
kind of person.
honestly, your family is doing 3 things. They're teaching recent families, older folks that want to be receptive with the message that you guys sent. It's inspiring to be better. You are also inspiring people that aren't even parents yet to parent better. Honestly, and siblings. It's so important. Those are your heart and soul.
Very influential
Yeah,
on
very.
a family aspect.
Very,
like,
very, very influential.
And also no raisins and empanadas, whatever.
Right.
Patelitos.
Super
Number
That's very
anti-racist.
big. That's very
super
big.
anti-racist.
Why not? That's good.
That's disgusting. Stop it.
Why do you want to bring negative
que me
energy?
entiendes.
It's such a such a
You don't know how
like raisins?
delicious is empanada de, what is it?
Carne.
Estamos
No, no,
pa'
no.
matarte aquí
No, no.
mismo.
Patelitos, empanadas.
Empanada of, oh my
Pasa?
God.
Pasa?
Empanada of Raisin Bran. nigga,
No, damn.
Is it guava?
It's a red guava. There you go.
Guava.
Empanada de
Oh,
guava.
I'm not
That's
But
a
that's
different
different,
thing.
But they only put raisins in the meat one.
So
in the
what? It's nice and
beef.
sweet and
No, but you
That's
like
different,
raisins?
bro.
You
That's
like raisins
different.
in your empanada de pollo?
yes,
Lies, you
That's
tell.
disgusting.
I like it.
He's lying.
capping.
I like it.
He's lying.
So you like raisins in your chips?
Yes.
Damn.
Really?
Chip King.
I like
Let me ask you
raisins.
something. Do you eat raisins out the box?
Yes, I
You
do.
need to go to jail.
Why?
No way.
Why?
You gotta be at least
Don't let
70
me
years
out.
old for that.
I used to.
Why?
I think
They
I
gotta
can.
be age
Man,
capped.
I could be constipated and I still ain't going
But
to
that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy you say that because we got somebody here that don't like habichuelas.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, my homemate right
She
there.
don't
Yeah,
like
my homemate,
habichuelas.
She don't like habichuelas.
Lisbel, can
I'm
you
sorry, loca.
dale un discurso a esta mujer?
Más de lo que a mí me han dado en mi vida.
Te vamos a dar
Señores,
otro.
yo no como habichuela. I am not gonna chew on a fucking bean. Me como
texture.
la
You don't like the
cremita.
texture.
Ella no come grano. That's what she said.
So
No shit, nigga.
what do
like,
you
that's
do
the
then?
fucking
She
La
eat the
cremita
dry
me
white
puedo-
rice.
No, I don't. No,
Dry.
I don't.
Like a
I just
llama?
do a little bit of la cremita de la
She uses-
habichuela,
You
pero
Or
use
the
like an
salad.
actual bean? Why? Is it the texture?
I think so.
She uses the
alright.
salad
Nothing in
sauce
the
on the
bean
rice.
family, like I won't eat peas,
lo llamo,
I
y lo
won't eat
llamo.
gandules, none of that shit.
She
Yo
bugging.
no como moro.
I swear to
And
God,
then
yo.
y'all coming at me for having
Como
raisins
está
in my
dando miedo.
pastelitos.
Well, that's kind of not normal.
Have you ever
That's
had
not normal.
Have you ever had raisins in your lasagna?
I almost killed
Oh yeah,
myself.
Chef Pitufo. Will you put raisins in your
Nigga, is that a
lasagna?
question to
Yo, that's
Yeah,
why.
yeah,
Please.
pitufo
I've had
antojito.
that.
Antojito Pitufo.
That's our cook.
Will you
I've
put
had
raisins in your lasagna?
Fuck no.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
doesn't even go.
I've
doesn't.
had that. It's actually pretty good.
You find-
You are surprising me today. I don't know. I don't know this guy
Hold
today.
on. My question is, what goes with raisins? Like, not even chocolate covered.
Not even raisin bran.
Yeah,
Yes, they
that
do.
don't even slap.
A nice salad. A
Oh,
nice
so you
green
like chocolate
salad.
covered raisins?
Hey, hold on. Nah, he got a point. The salads with
Salads
the
are
like
good.
almonds,
Salads
with the
good.
almonds
But
and all
that's
that
sad.
shit.
But
That's
almonds
dried
not
cranberries.
raisins.
Those are dried
It
cranberries.
could be cranberry or raisins. You could put either or.
It's two different things.
No.
It's good.
Nah.
All right, he went from Chip King to Raisin King. Real fucking fast.
It's
I
good.
respect him, man. Nigga, defiéndelo.
But-
Es trujadito, coño.
As DJ cues up our jingle.
Oh, I thought you said
I-
DJ Q. I'm like, who the
No,
fuck?
as Flo cues up the jingle. Coño, señor, pero vamos a respetar. Just give us your platforms, your Instagram, your Twitter, if you have a Twitter, TikTok, just
anything
where
you're
we
working
can find
on.
you
And
on.
anything new.
Anything you're working on right now, I want to know if Lisbeth got something new
Facts,
coming
I'm waiting
out.
on
You
the
know, any
script.
drops.
And also where we can buy your book, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, you
Merch.
can find it on Amazon, on Barnes and Nobles, Target,
So we will search on Amazon as
Lisbel Ortiz,
Liz-
and
and
that's
it-
also my handle on everything.
and it will pop up. The book will pop up. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you can type it into Google.
Ya ustedes
it'll
saben,
come
la
up
gente,
as well.
toda la gente que no está mirando, la gente cheapy. It doesn't hurt to support. You know what I'm saying?
Vayan a comprar
Support
ese
your
libro.
locals. You know what I'm
Aprendan
saying?
algo.
Señores, yo no leo. A mí no me gusta leer libros.
Wait.
Yo, to be honest, I haven't read a book since probably
They have
like high
audiobooks.
school.
They have audiobooks.
But I'm going to read her book.
They got
I'ma read
audiobooks.
that
So
shit
how do
because I
you-
feel like that shit's going to resonate.
So how do you learn? Like
How about we do
you-
this? Let's order right now.
I learned
Nigga
by
said
trials
life.
and tribulations.
All right.
But wait.
Fucking hard.
That's a fact.
As Pitufo orders the book right now, just like I said, give your Instagram or your platform so we can.
And what else you working on too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok. Those are the two like major things you can find me on. Lisbel Ortiz. My first book is called Let's Talk About It, Por la Buena La Mala. And I talk about childhood. Well, I have a different topic for every chapter.
Okay.
And it's like taboo topics that we are taught not to talk about in Caribbean communities. So the documentary. I'm working on a documentary, and that's what I've been working on for the last year or so.
That's
You
gonna
ever
be good.
released?
What's that about?
Wait,
It's coming on Netflix.
when you write your
I
first
hope so.
movie,
Hey.
send me the script because I'm going over there.
Atención,
So
atención, Netflix.
That's one thing I want to try.
The documentary is a story about immigrants who travel to the United States and how they raise their children here, and then the story kind of unravels what they went through, how it affected us, and how we can fix that for the next generation.
Wow.
So would that be
Fantastic.
like a pre-sequel? I guess you would say to your book, or
Yeah, actually, it
Okay.
would be for the second book that's coming after. It's gonna
Oh,
explain a
shit.
lot
Hey.
more.
Damn.
Real quick, I'm about to cut you off, but this is a good cutoff right here. We're right now on Amazon. Yeah, it says there's only 8 left in stock.
Period.
I'm pretty sure by the time y'all hear this episode, it's probably gonna be
sold out.
8 of us. 8 of us.
Sold out.
Amazon's acting like the Nike app.
Y los chelitos a buscar, pero.
Apple Pay, hurry up.
The Nike app right now. You're sold out.
You got
But
it.
yeah, just stay tuned for Lisbo Ortiz. Anything that I put out, it's definitely to help our community or to make us laugh,
We
or
appreciate
to help
you.
our parents or the younger generation.
Listen, my advice to you is keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
I think you're a smart young woman.
Thank you.
You're very inspiring. Like I said, you're a great storyteller.
Sueldo's like 50, that's why he's talking to you like this.
Damn.
Es la voz mía, tú sabes, I got a very sexual, nice
Damn.
lo más sensual.
But no, honestly, you know, you don't. Sometimes you don't realize it, but you do help out a lot of people. A lot of people
Facts.
may be going through what they're going through. Unfortunately, and I probably bring this up a lot in the show. I lost my mom in 2020 due to COVID, and you know, that's actually that's a hurt that I don't think anybody can ever
Get over.
get over.
Don't get over that.
But and I'm not gonna say, and I'm not gonna be cliche and say, hey, your videos help me through the thing.
It's okay.
But no, it is okay.
Help you reflect.
It is okay. But like I said, you're the few, and I'm a very hard critic, and everybody knows.
Very
that.
hard.
Chacal.
What's the name of it?
King de lo típico.
There you go.
But I can actually watch your video. I can literally watch a whole video of something that you might have posted, or it could be anything. It funny, seriousness, anything. But like I said, keep doing what you're doing. You're a very inspiring person, and hopefully, and just throw it out there, you probably become one of the biggest authors, Latino authors at that.
That'll be big.
Dominican woman on top.
Dominican.
Yes, sir.
Let's just spread positivity. You know what I'm saying? No,
Big round of applause
yes,
for
yeah,
this.
nothing but good vibes. Nothing but good vibes here at the Vibe. You know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate that so much.
Yes. Honestly, I would have loved for you to wrong your mom, because I think I could have relayed a lot.
She's
Yeah.
amazing.
Well,
She
who
really
knows? Maybe there's a future visit coming up where,
No, for
maybe
sure.
some more of the siblings are pulling up. Who
And she
knows?
would have loved me, because all the moms love me. All the moms love me.
Because you eat all the food, baby. Come on.